Hello, my name is Ryan Tyser, and today I'll be running through how the Cisco Agent desktop software works. For the purpose of this training video and to more easily demonstrate the capability of the software, I will be using today the test IP communicator. In your desktop environment, the IP communicator will not be used, and you will instead be using the physical Cisco IP phone. To get started with the Cisco Agent desktop software, you can identify the icon on your desktop, which is labeled as Agent. You can also see the icon as a phone icon. I will go ahead and double-click it now so that you can see the login process. When the software starts up, it's going to ask you for three fields. The first field, your ID, will be your first name and last name, all lowercase. The second field, the password, will also be your first name, last name, all lowercase. The extension, the third field, will be the agent extension on your Cisco IP phone. In this case, my agent extension is 6610. When you first log in to the Cisco Agent desktop software, you'll notice that it opens minimized down here on the bottom of the screen. To restore it to normal size, you can click on the minimized icon down on the bottom. Once the Cisco Agent desktop software pops up, you can disable the integrated browser by clicking on the integrated browser button. The Cisco Agent desktop software starts in the not ready state, which means that you are not ready to take a call and that calls will not be sent to you from the ACD. Going through the buttons here in the Cisco Agent desktop software, we can see that there are many buttons along the top. The first button is to answer and drop, otherwise hang up a call. The second button is to hold and unhold a call. The third button is to bring in another conference participant into the call. The fourth is to transfer this active call to another extension or to another agent. And the fifth is to enter touch tones onto an active call, for example in a phone tree. The sixth icon is to log in or log out of the Cisco Agent desktop software. Since I am currently logged in, if I pressed this button, it would log me out. The next button is the Ready button. When I go into the Ready state, I am telling the system that I am ready to accept another call from the ACD. The next button is the Not Ready button. When I log into the Cisco Agent desktop software, it puts me in the Not Ready state automatically. The next button is the Work button. The Work button represents either after a call when you are in wrap-up time, which is when the system allows you some time to wrap up documentation or anything else that's needed after a call is completed. The other case that this button might be highlighted is if you're currently in a call, in what's called work time. The next button is the button that allows you to make a call from your agent extension. The next button, the Chat button, allows you to chat other agents or your supervisors through the Cisco Agent desktop software. The next button allows you to see agent-specific reports inside your Cisco Agent desktop software. The next button allows you to show and hide contact management within the Cisco Agent desktop window. The next button will either show or hide the integrated browser. The next button is how to change the preferences of your Cisco Agent desktop software. And the next and final button is the Help and About menu. Now to demonstrate a live test call, I'm going to put myself in the ready state, which means that I am ready for another inbound call from the ACD. For the purpose of this test, I will also be using my IP communicator softphone. I will be calling in to the help desk ACD so that I can see an active call come in. As you can see, my phone is ringing, and so I can pick it up. Note that I'm in an active call, and I can see the active call within my Cisco Agent desktop software. While I'm in this call, the call state is showing us connected. Along the top, you'll notice that many of the call control icons that we first reviewed have now become available for use. Along the bottom, we can see that different pieces of information about the call have become available to us. For example, the call source, in this case internal, meaning that this call would have come from an internal source. The ANI, otherwise known as the calling number, so where this call is coming from. The DNIS, otherwise known as the called number, otherwise where the call was destined for. And then also on the right side, the path of the call through the system to get to me, an agent. Also, along the top, we can see that our state has changed to the work state, and you can see that the icon is currently highlighted. Note before that the icon was gray and was unavailable for selection. This icon is only available for after call work time, otherwise known as wrap-up time, or for in-call work time, as we can see here. Along the bottom, we can see my agent name, my agent extension, my agent login ID, how long I've been talking, or how long I'm in the current state, whether my phone is in service or not, and what time it is. Now, to demonstrate some call control features, I will now show you that I can drop the call from within the Cisco Agent desktop software by simply clicking on the button here. Note that when I drop the call, I automatically go into the work state, as you can see at the bottom of the screen here. Also note that the Cisco Agent desktop software automatically minimizes down to the bottom of the screen to get out of the way of any documentation that needs to be performed. After work time is up, it will automatically move me back to the ready state. I can also manually click on the Cisco Agent desktop software to bring it back up as an active window and click either log out or click ready to go back into the ready state. In this case, I've clicked to log out, and so I will log back in by clicking the icon once more. Note that again, when I log in, I am in the not ready state. I will click myself into the ready state so that I can accept another test call. This time, I will call in as though I am a servicing user. This time, I will answer the call from the Cisco Agent desktop software. Notice that I clicked on the answer and drop key here to answer the call, and that the call is currently active on the test phone. Other things I can do while this call is active is put the call on hold by simply clicking the hold button, and by taking the call off hold by clicking the on hold button. You can see that when I put the call on hold, the call on the test IP communicator goes on hold, represented by the little equal sign next to the call. Also, the call itself, the phone button, will flash. If I take the call back off hold, you see that the phone button goes back steady green, and you'll see that there's a little play button next to the phone for that call. I can also conference in another participant by clicking on the conference button. When I click on the conference button, it allows me to dial in an outside number to conference in or an inside number to conference in. This can be any number that is reachable from your phone. For example, for an outside number, it would have to have the 9 in front of it. Note that when you're dialing an outside number, you will need to check the box that says dial number as entered. If I click dial, it will put the existing call on hold, and it will dial the other call. When I'm ready to bring in the third party into the conference, I simply click the Add to Conference button here in the Conference a Call window. You can see now that I am in a conference call. To end this call, when I am all done, I can simply click the drop button, or I can end the call from the phone itself. Note that I have ended the call. When I ended the call automatically disappeared from my phone, and the Cisco Agent Desktop software went back to the bottom of the screen in a minimized state. Also, the Cisco Agent Desktop software in this case went to the ready state, meaning I am now available for the next ACD call. I can also manually go to the not ready state to signify to the system that I am not ready for an ACD call at this time. As you can see, clicking on the Not Ready button changes the Cisco Agent Desktop software to say that I am not ready for another call. Now if I place a call into the ACD, I will not be available to receive that ACD call until I go into the ready state. Other features within this software include making a call, which brings up a very similar window to the one used for conferencing a call. You can also dial an internal or external number. If it is an external number, you will need to include 9, and you will need to check the dial number as entered button on the bottom before you click dial. You can also click the chat button. Note currently that I have no teammates logged in. However, when there are teammates logged in, you can double click on their names to begin a chat with them. The reports section allows me to see a log of the state that I have been in as an ACD user. For example, you can see that at 21:25 I logged in, and I was logged in for 13 seconds. At 21:25:35 I went not ready for 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And then at 21:27:40 I was in the ready state for 41 seconds. You can see in a couple instances here, 21:29:13, I was changed to a not ready state because of a ring no answer. That means that an ACD call was ringing my phone and I did not catch that call. What happens in that case is your agent state goes to not ready, meaning that you will not be available for another ACD call. You must manually go back to the ready state when this occurs. I will show you an example. Here is a call now. If I do not pick up this call, it will change me to the not ready state. You can see that it changed me to the not ready state and minimized my Cisco Agent Desktop software. If ever this occurs, you will need to manually go back into your Cisco Agent Desktop software and click the ready state to be available again for an ACD call. This allows the system to automatically go to the next agent without retrying the same phone over and over if the agent is unavailable. Now if we look at the ACD state log display, we can see at the very bottom that I went from the not ready to the ready state, then to reserved, meaning that I was being reserved for a call and my phone was ringing, to the not ready state, where I did not pick up the phone. We can also see other reports in here, for example, agent statistics, the number of calls presented and handled. Presented calls are the number of calls that have rang my phone, and handled calls are the number of calls I've answered. We can also see talking, ready, not ready, and work time, average, maximum, and total. We can see the agent call log display, which represents the call logs for each day that I've been an agent. For example, today you can see the calls that have come in through the queue and whether they've been answered or not. You can also see the contact service queue, otherwise known as the ACD queue statistics. You can see currently that there are 0 calls waiting. If I call into the queue after making myself not ready, you'll see that there's going to be a call waiting. You can see also how long the call has been in hold. If there are multiple calls waiting, you can see the longest call and how long it's been in the queue. I've hung up my test call, and so the calls waiting will return back to 0. And the current oldest will return back to 0 as well. To exit out of the real-time displays, you can simply click File and Close, or you can click the red X on the top right corner. In your daily workflow, if you need to step away from your desk and you need to make yourself unavailable for an ACD call, simply click the Not Ready button. When you come back to your desk, click the Ready button to say that you're ready for further ACD calls. When you're all done for the day, you can log out of your Cisco Agent desktop software by clicking the Login, Logout button. And then clicking the X on the top right corner. This will log you out as an agent. Thank you very much for watching the Cisco Agent Desktop training video.